Hey guys, what is up? Yeah, this is my top 5 favorite controllers of all time. So, let's get started. Number 5, it's the DualShock 2 controller for the PS2. Now, I remember playing the PS2 so damn much back in the day, and the reason why is because I love the controller. Um, yes, the PS1 controller and the PS2 controller were pretty much the same thing, except for, the first generation PS1 controller that didn't have the analog sticks, which I don't know. I never had the first gen, but I did play on one at a friend's house. So yeah. What I like about it is, well, I like where the analog sticks are. Not a lot of people do, but I know a lot of my friends' favorite controller is the PS2 controller. So, on to number 4. Now, my fourth pick would have to be the GameCube's Wavebird. Now, the GameCube's Wavebird was the first controller ever to actually get the wireless done right. And what I mean by this is that it used radio waves instead of infrared like the past wireless controllers did. Um, that means you can move around the controller like you don't even have to point it at the console to make it recognize, you know. Like, you can go at the back of your house and your GameCube be on in the living room of your house, and it will still pick it up, which I thought was kind of cool, you know. I tried it myself, so I know it's truth. It's the truth, you know. I remember seeing a magazine ad that it showed a kid playing the Spider-Man 1 on GameCube in a mirror, and then behind them was the TV and the GameCube. So I thought that was pretty cool. I was like, oh, you can really do that? So, yeah, on to number 3. Number 3 would have to be the PC Engine controller. I really like this controller for one reason. Turbo. NES didn't have turbo on their default controllers. That's why that's I think that's why that the Japanese really liked the PC Engine, was because their default controllers had turbo. So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. So, I mean, and I love the PC Engine, but that's for another video. So, on to number 2. You'll know this one. The Dreamcast controller. Now, this controller was the very first controller to ever have analog triggers. So, when you're driving, or, when you're playing a racing game, you're not going just faster stop, you know. You have a whole range of motions in there. So, it was a pretty cool thing, and I, I have to talk about them. Let me get it out. The VMUs. Now, this thing, if you don't know, is a memory card. It has its own little D-pad and A and B buttons and sleep mode or sleep button and mode button. Now, if you had batteries for these things, you could like play little mini games on them, and like you with this right here, the ports or whatever, you could hook them up to another VMU and battle and stuff, like a Tamagotchi thing and whatnot. But you don't need batteries to save. So that was pretty cool. I mean, my favorite thing about this one though is like you're playing football game like Blitz, and you could hit a button and it would, your screen thing would go down to the VMU screen to pick your plays, so your opponent wouldn't see what you're picking. So that was a really cool idea. So on to number 1. Now, my number 1 favorite controller of all time would have to be the Xbox, original Xbox Duke controller. I love this controller. And all it is a Dreamcast controller. I was gonna say badass, so yeah, it's badass. Badass Dreamcast controller with another analog stick and a black and white button. So I would have to, so that would be, okay, counting triggers, that would be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 buttons in total. Yeah, that's awesome. I never owned this controller. I still don't. Whenever I get around to buying just random shit, I'm gonna buy me an Xbox Duke controller. As you can tell, they named it Duke, or I don't know if they actually named it or just the fans named it Duke, because it's a fucking big ass controller. A lot of people didn't like it because of that. I know I know Japan, they actually got another controller that they also brought back over here called the S controller. I'm not a big fan of that one. But yeah. The first time I played with it, played with the Duke controller was my stepbrother's friend had the Xbox during, launch, had it at launch, and he picked up like Dead or Alive 3. I remember that's the game we played like all night. And I got the Duke controller, and I was like, oh my god, yes. I just felt my, hands around it, and it was awesome. It was awesome. So, that is my top 5 favorite video game controllers. So, if you like this video, like it down, give me the thumbs up. Boom. Trying to get it in a shot. Subscribe. And, watch my other videos. You know what to do. See you guys later. Now, my fourth pick would have to be Motherfucker.